Interviews, conversations, a place to just listen. Arrow.net, ARROE.net. This is Play It Forward. Real people with real stories. The struggle to play it forward. Episode number 280 with author Carrie Lonsdale, whose latest book is titled No More Words.
I am doing well. How are you, Arrow?
Absolutely fantastic. Man, I wish I could be a fly on the wall and sit in a book club and hear how people are going. They're just going to love this book. This book has domestic suspense. It's got family drama. I mean, it really has a connection because you've got the right ingredients here to keep those readers going.
Well, that's great to hear. Yeah, it's pretty juicy, isn't it?
So, how does it play out inside your mind before it appears on the picture on your computer? Because I mean, you've got to be thinking about a book like this forever and a day.
Yes, and it definitely doesn't look like what it does on the page. In my mind. In my mind, everything looks perfect, and then you start writing, and it just goes all over the place. But I am a big plotter. I will start with doing it. I'll start as small as just like a summary, then I'll go to a synopsis, then I'll break it down into an outline, and then I'll even do what's called like a scene outline until I'm comfortable with it and it hits all the points of the story. And, you know, the denouement at the end, the inciting incident at the beginning to, hook everybody. So there's a lot of prep work before I actually sit down and write the first word.
That's interesting that you say that because in my notes, I wish you were here to see this, it says she turns words into pictures, and you just described that to me.
Oh, well, very good. I like that.
To be able to have that landscape of thought, though, because that's a process. That's a discipline that you have put together.
Yes, I would have to. And when I write my books, no process is ever the same. I think It's really the book will end up dictating how I do that. But, I probably have more of an analytical mind where I do have to have a very serious process about it. And somewhere through that process, I draw out the emotion in the reader. So.
Olivia's sister is 16 years old, a runaway, she's pregnant. All of a sudden, dun, 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 this story begins.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty heavy subject, but I'll tell you what, it sure keeps people glued to it because all of a sudden when you start seeing Josh come into the picture and stuff like that, in fact, my little note here for Josh is he's a message carrier. Was he meant to be that way?
I think so, and I think he's also the catalyst for Olivia finally realizing that, okay, I've been holding on to this trauma for years. I just, one thing that she's, what she believes may actually not be what it seems. And as she's investigating her amateur sleuth and trying to find the sister who ran away, I think she's slowly uncovering exactly what really happened in the past. And her eyes are finally opening. The blinders are coming off.
To bring all this together in the way where Olivia does finally find out what's going on, how did you put yourself in that position of knowing Olivia? Did you step away from the book and look at it as a reader, or was it because you are the author, you're putting it in there now? Because she's so real with her emotions.
Oh, well, that's an excellent compliment. Thank you. I do character sketches, and I do have to kind of know the character and what it is that they want and what their motivation is before the story. But the character really evolves more as I write, because when I write that fast first draft, it is a very lean version of the character the reader gets in the final book. And I don't think an author can really fully know their character with just that first draft. And so as you go back and do the revisions and you flesh the character out and add the different layers, I think that's when my characters really come to life.
That first draft, I call things like that stream thinking. Is that what it is? Is it a stream? That's all of a sudden, it's like I feel it right now.
Yeah, that's like it for me. That's like an info dump. It's all the chaos that's in my head, despite all the outlines and despite all the scene sketches and stuff. It is still chaos, because you can plot it out, but then when you start writing, it's not working. And you kind of have to let go and let the characters take the reins a bit. And for me, that's when all the interesting stuff happens. That's when the twists come out, because it's like, oh, even I didn't know that.
Did you, when you build up a character like Olivia or even Josh, do you go and find pictures or photographs of someone who, in your mind, body, and soul, you're going to say, okay, this is what they look like? Or do you keep all that hidden up inside your head?
That's hidden. Actually, what's interesting is I did that for No More Words. And right now I'm working on No More Lies, which is the second book in the series. And I didn't do like I'll do like a Pinterest board where I'll take photos of who I think the characters are for inspirations, the setting, and different aspects about the book. I did it for No More Words, but you know what? I completely skipped over that part for No More Lies. And that shows you again how every book is different. I didn't need it for No More Lies because the younger sister Lily is so vivid in my head.
Do you see this going into a series on Netflix? Because you know it's there. This is the kind of stuff that
it's there, and that would be wonderful for it to become a series. And I think it would be a pretty good one, because since we've got these 3 books and the 3 siblings, and each one told from a different viewpoint, and that traumatic event gets fleshed out more and more with each book. So it would be fun.
Man, you got to come back to this show on the next book in the series and stuff like that, because I love talking with you. You're not afraid to talk about how you bring your art forward. So, man, I'm just so grateful for you.
Well, thank you so much. Let's do it. Yeah.
You bet. You be brilliant today, okay?
Okay. You too.